Please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
How about now? Are we back now? Are we back now? No? We're good? Man, what is going on, dude? We're trying to figure out the playback stuff. It switched my microphone setting just on its own, on its own. That's good. So did you not hear anything at the top? You just heard me like it didn't start in and go out. Anyways, whatever. Whatever. Good to see everybody here this morning. Wait, Snoopaloop still hears nothing? All right, whatever. Whatever. Good to see everybody. This is good. I like that we have an issue. Wait, you guys didn't even hear me complain about the heat or anything like that either? Wow. Wow. Anyways, the heat's not working. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. Um, anyways, we got some hoops to talk about. It did feel like it took you guys too long to figure out you couldn't hear me though. That felt like a full minute went by before somebody told me in the chat you couldn't hear me. You guys, like, you might think I need to step it up, but honestly, the chat you guys probably need to do a better job. Oh, the YouTube stream is way behind, is it? Interesting. Interesting. Well, we continue to have issues, baby. Continue to have issues. All right, let's go. We've got some Nico Harrison stuff. Nico let go. One of the wilder things that happened. One of the wilder things that happened. Did anybody listen to the Bill Simmons podcast last night or this morning? He had Chuck Klosterman on. And let's see, because I'm only how much did I listen to this morning on the dog walk? I listened to 28 minutes. Chuck Klosterman spent 28 minutes defending, just being like, actually, I think Nico did a good job. It was wild. It was nuts. I could not believe it. I guess wow, is the chat like really that far behind? This is throwing me off, man. I wonder what's going on with the sync. So yesterday it was the audio wasn't synced up, and now it's just super far behind. I'm actually going to turn the volume on. Oh yeah, this is like a minute behind. But yeah, Chuck on Nico was really bad. I didn't understand the take. And then he just was kind of like, every trade is a loss unless you win a title. Like, he was actually saying OKC and James Harden. He basically said the OKC Rockets trade for James Harden was null and void because nobody won a title. He's like, nobody actually won that trade because nobody won a title. It was nuts. Nutso take. So Nico gets fired yesterday. I mean, the writing was on the wall. I think everybody kind of knew that was coming. I think anybody knew that was coming. Also, DJP going through it right now. He was saying the chat is on time, and he just said it was the playback chat. Now it's the YouTube chat. So whatever. Oh, the chat on the stream. Oh yeah, I forgot that does that. I forgot that it puts the chat over there. How long before we see Nico in good seats watching Laker games? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I imagine he starts a podcast soon. I imagine Nico starts a podcast. That's probably the move. Just to start yapping, just like the Morris twins, kind of reshaping their legacy right now. That's what you have to do. You got to start content and be like, actually, dude, hey man, if Anthony Davis played more than 9 of his first 44 games with the Mavericks, it wouldn't have been that bad. And that's a real stat. He's played 9 of the 44 potential games with the Mavs. I do think the question is now, where does Anthony Davis go from here? Because it seems like Dallas is going to be steering the ship into the iceberg, right? And just going to get another pick. And you have Kyrie, who, supposedly was going to be coming back either January, I think, was generous, but probably like February or March. There's no reason. I can't imagine Kyrie's got that dog in him right now. So you either move off of Kyrie or Kyrie doesn't play. And then so it's Anthony Davis. Like, what do you do with Anthony Davis? What do you do with Daniel Gafford? Like maybe you just let's see what we got with Brandon Williams. We got Cooper Flag. You got Derek Lively, and then go get some picks, right? Go get some picks. I think that is the move. So I do wonder if AD gets moved. And the other thing that runs into, and I think it was, what podcast was I listening to last? I think it was Zach Lowe who mentioned, that he's up for an extension at the end of this summer. I think he's got 2 years left, right? It's this year and the next year. It's like 120 million or 100 something million over the next 2 years. Who's signing up for that money? At his age, with the time that he misses, and I know he's had that one season where him and LeBron both played like 70 plus games, but how many games a year can you count on him? Magi said they honestly need to trade a center that will fetch them a king's ransom, and maybe it's a king's ransom like DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. So I don't know. I don't know who's going to be going. Like, what team is on the cusp of doing some damage that is a big short that is also willing to pay some money, Bottomine says AD for Ja, who says no. I know Regulator kept bringing this up, like Derek White for Anthony Davis. Financially, because Dallas is across the second apron and the Celtics are across the first apron, a little bit harder to make that the money work. But then, and I brought this up on the Celtics Daily this morning, which will come out in a couple hours. So then you're paying Tatum, Brown, and Anthony Davis like $150 million a year. I could see if the Celtics were 100% healthy right now, that they would do something like this to try to win a title right now. But you're not winning the title this year, so now I don't know. It makes no sense. Maddie said, who would really help the Mavs team? Austin Reeves, who Nico should have demanded in the trade. Yeah, well, not according to Klosterman. He seems too smart. Chuck seems too smart to have those takes. What's up, Trev? The Heat probably have interest. And well, the Heat, Anthony Davis would be happy about that because then he could play the 4 and Bam could play the 5. Good to see you, Boston Base. Thanks for being here. So I don't even know who would be going after Anthony Davis. It has to be a team that's ready to contend and a team that's ready to pay. And I just don't know. I don't know who that would be. DJP says probably Kings and Pelicans would be interested. Yeah, just because they're dumb enough. I don't think the Pelicans would do it. I don't think there's a reason for them to add that kind of salary to the books. And then the Kings kind of came out yesterday, which I guess we can kind of bring this topic in with that one. The Kings came out yesterday and they said they were like, hey, we're going to be sellers. They're going to test the trade market, see what they can get for Sabonis, what they get for DeRozan, Levine. And so I don't even know. Do the Pels have assets? No, they don't. They have Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen. That's what they have for assets. And Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy is an asset that I think people would be excited about. So I don't know. I think the Pacers, the Pacers, if they were, they lose Miles Turner. This is a little bit of a rebuild year. Could it be like their first round pick, which might be a lottery pick? I don't know if you want to do that, right? That's probably too expensive. And then you move AD over. Mattress Max said the Mavericks looked really good that first game when everyone was healthy. If they were all healthy and had Flag, we probably wouldn't have these takes. Nico would probably have his job. No, I go the other direction, Mattress Mac, because here's the thing. If they were all healthy, they wouldn't have Cooper Flag, right? They would have been just above 500 team if they were all healthy. I guess if your case was like, well, if they had Kyrie and AD, then they would have had a late first round pick and they wouldn't have had Cooper Flag, and then they'd be right in the middle of the West this year. They wouldn't have had Cooper Flag though. So you can't get both. It can't be like if they were all healthy and had Cooper Flag. It's one or the other. Herb Jones is an asset, but no one's like Anthony Davis for Herb Jones. That's not a real asset. I don't think. The Pistons have assets, but I feel like trading for AD. Yeah, I don't think they do that. That's what I mean. Anthony Davis is expensive. Maybe he's at a different part of his career where he's still a top, 15 talent if he's healthy. but maybe he doesn't want to make $50 million a year. I don't know anybody that doesn't. So shout out the comedy festival. But like I don't know. I don't know what team. I don't know what team would be willing to do it. I do think somebody said Memphis. I don't think that makes sense with their timeline. Detroit does have assets. That's kind of interesting, but they have Jalen Duren, and like I guess you put AD next to him, but then who are you giving up? I don't know. What do you guys even think his value is? Like I go back to the Pacers, right? Is that first round pick too expensive? That's probably too expensive, right? Uh, DJP says Pacers might be interesting. Matherin, Walker, maybe. I don't know. They don't. Yeah, Jarius Walker doesn't really kind of like himself that much. He's not. He's been playing so bad with the opportunity that he's been given. Good Lord. But the idea of getting Halliburton back and then having AD fill that Miles Turner role, I think AD and Siakam could play next to each other. I do think that could be kind of fun. Good morning, David. I think that could be kind of fun. But I don't know. Bad vibes in Dallas. But it seems like universally, outside of Chuck Klosterman and then maybe Mattress Mac, everybody seems okay that he's gone. Maddie Harrison said, honestly, if AD was a free agent, how many teams would be offering him his current contract? That's what I'm saying. I don't think that many. Not for $50 million a year. I don't know where he goes. It's going to be interesting to see how Dallas navigates it, though. And I mean, like, listen, they should be leaning into losing because get another, like, you do have Cooper Flagg. I like Lively. I mean, I know Lively can't stay on the court right now, little young Anthony Davis in him, but I really do like his game. And if you're able to add another top pick to that, that's pretty spicy. So even if you're not getting the right value for Anthony Davis that you think you should, just like, hey, you're not gonna re-sign him. You're not bringing him back. So just go get some parts, go get some assets, baby. Go get some assets. Anyways, that's enough about that. You guys want to talk about some basketball from last night? Johnny B said, good morning. Someone said Nico was an NBA plan to bring back league fandom and an excellent market for Luka. Wow. Oh, we got a league plant. Him and Epstein, right? Was an Epstein FBI operative? Is that what we're saying now? You guys do want to talk a little Epstein? Let's get into last night's basketball, baby. Let's do it. Let me see if I can share screen seamlessly. See what we got here. Also, if you're watching on playback, that's cool. Thanks for being here. But we're also live over on the YouTubes. Make sure you're in YouTube. Make sure you're in the YouTube because that's where the cash is. That's where that sweet cash comes from. All right, sharing that link in there. Let's share screen. Let's go over last night's basketball action. If I can share the screen. All right, here we go. David was talking about Jalen Green. Yeah, Jalen Green's going to miss, like, I think they said he's going to get reevaluated in 6 weeks. Brutal. Let's start with the Warriors and Thunders. Let's start with that one. That game was over before it started. OKC, they were like, hey, we're up 9 at the end of the first. We're up 19 at halftime. Gonzo, this was gone. Jimmy Butler and Draymond seemed a little spicy after the game. Not sure if you guys wait, or you guys can't see it. Not sure if you guys... What is... Oh, my God. This is going to drive me nuts. We shared screen, right? Okay. Now, how are we looking? Why? There we go. Good Lord. Anyways, back to what we're saying. There were some comments after the game. It seemed like Draymond and Jimmy both, like, similarly being like, players are going to have to sacrifice. I'm going to be honest, man. I'm having a tough time blaming Kuminga. So it seems a little weird for them to just do it. DJP says, bring back the old setup. I tell you what, you want to personally give me $65 a month? You can do that, and we'll use StreamYard forever. But let's go back to this game here for a second because listen, Kuminga, he's getting paid a lot to be considered the scapegoat. I have a hard time blaming him for what's happening. Steph clearly is not 100%. I don't know if he's got a cold or what's going on, but he's been sick for a while now. But everybody was pretty bad in this game, right? Steph goes 1 for 5, 4 for 13. He only played 20 minutes. Kuminga, Draymond, Jimmy, only all like 20 plus minutes. That was it. And it was over. Like, this was over before it started. They're now 6-6. And maybe the real takeaway is that the Thunder are just awesome. 11-1. Jalen Williams, their second best player, has yet to play a basketball game. And this team is just humming. In 28 minutes, SGA scored a point per minute. 9 for 19 from the field, 28 points, 11 dimes, 5 boards. The dude is a machine. Chet Holmgren was great in this one. 9 for 9 from the field, 2 for 2 from 3. In 25 minutes, he had a double-double, 23 and 11. A.J. Mitchell gave him 17. They got 18 from Isaiah Joe, who knocked down a couple of triples. This OKC team is just a powerhouse. When we go to look at the Warriors, though, who are now 6-6, right? Their losses come to the Trailblazers. They started out 2-0. And Stan loves you in the chat, because remember when everybody was like, oh my God, Golden State, take that L, bro. Take that L. Remember? Because I took the under on that. Again, this has been a brutal schedule, but here are some of the losses here. We've got the Trailblazers, the Bucks, the Pacers, the Indiana Pacers. They lost to the Indiana Pacers. The Sacramento Kings, the Denver Nuggets, now the OKC Thunder. Now they're on a back-to-back tonight against the San Antonio Spurs. Again, their schedule has been absolutely brutal. Like, they've been tough back-to-backs. Like, you had a Thursday, Friday, Denver, Portland. That was on the road. Then they had a Monday, Tuesday. They had 3 games in 4 nights, the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Then they had another Tuesday, Wednesday, back-to-back. And then they'll have another one tonight. So, like, I get it. The schedule has been brutal. But this West is kind of spicy, man. You know, like, if you look at it, they're down here in this 8th seed. The Phoenix Suns have proven to be a little bit more of a fun team than we had expected. And yeah, Golden State 1-6 away from home. I don't know. They might be in a little bit of trouble. I don't think it's full freak out mode, but if this is the vibes that are going, and Steph, again, I don't think Steph is washed. I saw that coming. I don't think Steph is washed. I'm not crazy. I'm not going out there like that, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Shout out to OKC, though, for just an absolute heater of a start. Let's do Brooklyn and Toronto. Brandon Ingram, after getting fined, what was it, $25K for throwing the water bottle? He had a pretty good game last night. He had 25, 5, and 4 as the Raptors give it to the Nets. Nets dropped to 1-10. We, the North, 1 game over 500 now. Scotty Barnes, 15, 11, and 5. Turtle Power, Jakob Poeltl return. One note on Poeltl, too. He played 30 minutes last night, and I thought he was going to be on a little bit of a minute restriction, but he was not. So to pour in a double-double was good to see. And then IQ is finally rounded into form. He had a brutal start to this season where it seemed like the offense was real clunky, and in the last couple of games has really put it together. Solid performance, got some shots up, 10 for 17, 24, 8, and 5. And then I'm going to shout out CMB, Colin Murray Boyles. He looked good for them off the bench. What else do we have? We got big old Grady Dick, gave him 20 minutes, but that was it. For the Nets here, 21, 6, and 3. Claxton, 21 and 8. So decent stuff there from them. Decent stuff from the Nets. Marco said the worst part about the Ingram thing was not the throwing the bottle. It's not apologizing to the dude who took it in the face. Yeah, I know. It is tough. It was tough for Ingram. But for Toronto, I mean, like, they, again, starting to put it together. Let's look at some of these W's they've had now that they've rattled off some wins. They got one over the Nets. Congrats. They lost the Sixers, but they beat Atlanta, Milwaukee, Memphis, Cleveland. Some good wins in there after that funky start, right? Because they rattled off 4 L's. After getting opening night W. It's a fun little start for Toronto. I'm a believer in Toronto. I kind of like them. Grizzlies and the Bing Bong Boys. Ja Morant continues to just be rough. I'm going to reference Legion Hoops tweet, who I love that they weighed in. I love when these like non-NBA accounts weigh in on freaking they weigh in on, like, they were like, Nico didn't get a fair deal. I'm like, oh wait, no, I'm sorry. It's not Anon. He docked himself. It's Jacob Ortiz. Okay. Shout out Jacob. All right. So this tweet, I'll put it in the chat too, if I can find it. Here we go. Ja Morant. Well, let's drop this in the chat in case you want to follow along as well. Ja Morant, right? His last 5 games, 16 points on 4 for 14 shooting, 11 points on 3 for 18 shooting, 21 points on 7 for 20 shooting, 17 points on 6 for 19 shooting, 18 points on 5 for 16 shooting. Real bad stuff. Real bad stuff all around. I KOC also pointed out, I believe he has 29 points and 25 turnovers during that stretch. Last night, 16 and 10, but 8 turnovers, 4 for 14 from the field, 2 for 6 from 3. Jaren Jackson Jr., 19 and 6. Man, this team is vibeless, just absolute vibeless. I don't even know like what direction they go. I don't know what direction they go here. Yeah, I got Boston Bay said I missed the days on playback where I could open up a bunch of tabs. I had to tell you guys, as this might be it for the playback experience. This might be it. It's like too hard navigating around here, and I know it's gonna hurt Weisberg's heart, but I don't know if we can do it. It's just there's too many things going on. For the Bing Bong Boys, though, listen, this is what I'm hoping for the Celtics tonight is that they get to experience what the Knicks experienced last night, which was easy offense. 21 points and 13 boards from Cat, 32 points, 10 dimes and 5 boards from Jalen Brunson. Excuse me. We had OG Anunoby gave him 16. Mikal Bridges looked great. He had 21, 7, and 5 with 4 steals. Mikal Bridges was kind of the skeleton key to the slate last night if you were on the underdogs, which I was, and I did bad last night, but we were due. We were due to have a bad night. But the Knicks now 7-3. Grizzlies are 4-8. Grizzlies have a back-to-back tonight, as I mentioned, against the Celtics. Again, just the vibes. The vibes are so bad. Speaking of bad vibes, I'm having a tough time with this Celtics team. Sixers and Celtics have played 3 times already, but it feels like they've played 35. And everybody will yell about 3-point shooting and about like Simon should start over Pritchard, which honestly I'm getting close. I'm getting close to being there with you. What's killing me is this down the stretch. Like the Celtics, everybody gave Tatum a tough time too when he was there about like their late game execution, how in the last 5 minutes of the game, offense would come to a screeching halt, would just play so slow, wouldn't get good shots, step back threes, whatever, right? Now, it's just they can't like execute in the last 2 minutes of the game. Last night, Jaylen Brown, and shout out the Sixers, they threw a double at him. JB catches the ball. They're down 2 with 10 seconds left. JB gets the ball. After not boxing out, Kelly Oubre got a putback. That's how they got a 2-point lead. But JB gets the ball. They throw a double at him. He gets it to Derek White. And Andre Drummond just jumped out on him. And I don't know if he got a hand on it or what, but Derek White kind of lost the ball. It goes back towards half court, picks it up. There's like 3 seconds left, launches like a 45-footer that is shortened to the left. And then with like 0.6 of a second, Nemias Queta knows the ball is going to be missing. Jumps up and grabs it instead of having like the clock, which this is really tough with under a second left, but didn't have the awareness to know that he had enough time to just throw it down. Instead, he kind of like almost volleyball taps it, and it goes too far, and the Celtics lose the game. And DJP was saying, "What's up?" Yeah, Embiid didn't play. Let's just fire off some stats, and then I'll catch up. But JB had 24, 6, and 5. Efficiency was a little bit. I mean, he was still 44%, but Derek White continues to not be able to shoot the ball. Like stat-wise, 18, 7, and 5 with 2 blocks, you're like, fine. But that's when that's a great stat line if Derek White's your 4th option. He's your 2nd option now. And so that's not doing it. Pritchard, 2 for 9 from the field, 1 for 5 from 3. He had 5 points. I mean, the Pritchard stuff is rough. Josh Minot got the start, played 8 minutes, and now he's banished. And DJP, you're saying, what's up with Minot? You want to know what's up with Minot? The Celtics are asking guys that could not be in an NBA rotation on any other team to play 25, 30 minutes a game. That's what's happening. And like he had a couple of nice and honestly, good for him, dude. He's battled his ass off to get this opportunity. But it's like shame on us for being like, wait, hold on. Why is Josh Minot not cooking? And it's because he's not a cooker. Jordan Walsh, I mean, he has looked good, but I mean, this is honestly like not to break everybody's the Celtics hearts out there. This is what happened when Josh Minot. He came out there and be like, dude, yeah, honestly, like if he just takes a couple of threes a game, I think this is fine. And like Jordan Walsh came out there and played really hard, did a little bit of everything, right? And now he's going to get an opportunity probably to start. I imagine he starts the next game. And then, he's going to go 1 for 5. And then all of a sudden we're like, oh, dude, where's Chris Boucher? Honestly, where is Chris Boucher? Why can't he play for this team? Simons played 26 minutes. He had 17 points. Let's give Philly a little bit of love here. Embiid, they're going to reevaluate him in another 7 to 10 days. Sounds like they had more swelling in the old knee, which is pretty tough. Tough for them, but they keep winning. Andre Drummond now looks to be the new backup big or the new starting big with no Embiid. He had 14 and 13 in this game. Honestly, thought he was going to go a little bit harder against the Celtics team. Maxey, it's funny to say Maxey had 21, 9, and 5, and that wasn't a good game for him. That's how well Maxey's been playing. But it was Justin Edwards, man. 22 points in 27 minutes. Guy missed one shot. 8 for 9 from the field, 5 for 6 from 3. Quentin Grimes gave him 18, 6, and 4 off the bench, too. That was the difference. Celtics shockingly outboarded them 53 to 44, outboarded them 13 to 8 on the offensive glass, but they're just not a good basketball team, man. They're not. And then I hope what they do is they turn the wheel to the tank. Turn the wheel to the tank. Joker Rock and Common Man both saying like Memphis and Mavs. Yeah, I mean, right. I remember Dallas last year where they almost were forfeiting games because they don't have enough guys. Boston Bay said the Celtics don't tank. I mean, they are going to tank. They're just not good enough. They're not good enough at this late game execution stuff. And all the teams around them have gotten better, right? The teams that they were going to try to have to, when you were, when you were looking at the standings or before the season started and you're kind of looking at the layout of the East, you were hoping certain guys on the Celtics were going to take a leap, but you were banking on Miami not being better. You were banking on Chicago not being better, on Philly not being better. And I mean, Philly's had Embiid play 3 games. Paul George hasn't touched the court yet, and they're now 7 and 4. If we go back over the standings here for a second on the East, who are the Celtics catching? Orlando, who is off to a terrible start. Orlando is playing so bad. And Orlando's ahead of Boston. Atlanta hasn't had Trae Young, ahead of Boston. Toronto, Chicago, Philly, we already outlined. Milwaukee hasn't had the best health run out. They're in the 5 seed. The Cavs have guys missing games all the time. The Heat, the Knicks, who are they catching? Who are they catching in front of them? Oh man, he's not. Even if he returns, what are you going to return? You're going to battle to get back into the 9 seed. I mean, they're outside of the play-in right now, and I mean they're not going to be worse than Brooklyn, Indiana, and the Wizards. But they should stop trying. Why battle to get into the play-in? Why? Magi said Boston's going to look at this draft class and go, yeah, the tank is nice. It's truly. All right, only a couple other games, and honestly, a lot of these games sucked last night. So it might be a shorter show today, which is also good because they're doing construction right outside my apartment, which is awesome. I don't know if you can hear it, but all right, Pacers and the Utah Jazz. Jazz won 152 to 128. Jazz on the back-to-back in a tough game. And then they come out and just beat the piss out of the Pacers. The Pacers are cooked, man. Siakam was back. Nemby's back. Siakam had 27, 5, and 4. Nembhard had 25 and 7. But they gave up 152 points to the Utah Jazz on a back-to-back. Lauri Markkanen hit 5 triples. He had 35 points. All 5 starters in double figures. Svi had 20. Ace Bailey's getting the start these days. He had 20 and 4. Might be wheels up on Ace Bailey, which is pretty exciting. I'm excited for that. We got Keontae. He was the only Jazz that didn't really cook. Kyle Filipowski gave him 16 and 7. Bryce Sensabaugh 16. Collier 14 and 11 and 6. I mean, they just beat the piss out of them. Shout out the Jazz, 4th win. Now, the Pacers understood the assignment. Their best player tore their Achilles, and they're like, we're going to win 9 games. And then they're going to get a great pick. So good for them. Last game of the night. Nuggets took down the Bean Boys, 122-108. Just a casual 35, 15, and 7 for Jokic. Jokic 16 for 19 from the field, dude. Just insane. Just abusing the Lithuanian king, Domas Sabonis. Jamal gave him 23 and 8, 17 from Gordon. Mr. Valanciunas, 10 and 7. And then it was Sabonis did play 19 and 8, but he was fouling his ass off last night. DeRozan 18, Dennis Schroeder with 0. Russ in his revenge got 14, 11, and 8. This Kings team's dead, just dead in the water, dead in the water. And then the Nuggets are 8 and 2, man. Denver's good at basketball. OKC's good at basketball. Jokic is so unbelievable. Let's just like rattle off his numbers for this year. And I think he's played every game, right? Jokic hasn't missed a game yet. I think he's missing tonight, though. I do think he's going to miss tonight. So I'm excited to. I don't know. This slate's a mess tonight. So Jokic right now is averaging 26 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists. It's not even like close to, like something like, oh my God, Russell Westbrook needs 14 rebounds in his last game to average a triple double for the season. Jokic is one whole assist clearing it already. He's shooting 67% from the field, 35% from three, 85% from the free throw line. He's like 20 percentage points better than Peyton Pritchard from three right now. Yeah, Russ was talking last night. Joker Rock said Sabonis defended okay. I mean, he defended okay by fouling his ass off. Looking at the West here, there you go. OKC, the Spurs keep winning too. Look at these. Shut up the Spurs. Little 2-seed action. Lakers right there, 8 and 3. Rockets, so on and so on. Let's go look at tonight's stuff because the slate tonight is just nuts. A reminder too here that the cup returns in on Friday, and so we might get some silliness today. But let's go look at the spreads. The Milwaukee Bucks and the Charlotte Hornets are playing basketball tonight. Yeah, that's true, Magi. The Spurs aren't even healthy right now. Also, Patty Coyne in the house. I'm going to pull up Underdog, too. You're not going to see it, but I just want to make sure I'm getting the Q tags right. So the Bucks here, 6.5-point favorites. I kind of leaned that Giannis was going to sit here, but maybe not because we know this early in the day. And they're 6.5-point favorites. But Torian Prince is going to miss an extended amount of time. Kevin Porter Jr. is still out. And then Giannis has a Q tag here. They're playing Charlotte, not Chicago. Excuse me. They're playing Charlotte. So no LaMelo in this game. When we look at the Hornets side of things, no LaMelo, no Brandon Miller, and then probable tags on the Sex God, Knipple, Pat Connaughton. But to me, like Miles Bridges, I feel like is going pretty late considering what he does without LaMelo. Yeah, Giannis is. I'm kind of with you, Magi. I feel like even without Giannis, that the Bucks would be favored by a little bit more. If this slate wasn't so deep. Pause. Wait, to my mic. If it wasn't so deep, maybe we would see some like Ryan Rollins action in the 6th round, maybe some Miles Turner. I don't know. The Bulls and the Pistons would be a super fun game. However, Pistons are 2.5-point favorites here. And Cade Cunningham is questionable. And if Cade played the back-to-back, right? He played the back-to-back and played like 46 minutes in that second game. If there was ever a time to sit him, it's now, right? I mean, I know they're on a little win streak here. Asar Thompson has already been ruled out. Tobias Harris already ruled out. Isaiah Stewart is doubtful. So with the Pistons still being favored, maybe he still plays. Yeah, Dennis Jenkins could be starting tonight. He could be. I don't really know what to make of it because with Chicago, like they're without, they're not without, but they also have Q tags on Josh Giddey, Kobe White, Zach Collins, and Matisse Thybulle all still out. But everybody else is good. So I don't know. I really don't know what to make of that spread. I think if everybody was playing, right? Well, if Cade plays and Giddey plays, but we know there's no Beef Stew, Tobias, Asar, it's either, this line tells me they're either both in or both out. 3DK says, let Holland cook. Bro, I wanted Holland to cook. I wanted Ron Holland to cook, and he did not in that first game. So I need him to cook. I don't know what to make of this. I don't know what to make of this. I think it's either they're both in or they're both out. The Knicks are on the back-to-back, but they're favored by 4.5 against the Magic. That kind of makes me think everybody's good to go. No Q tags there for them. For Orlando here on their side, Mo Wagner's still out. Everybody else fresh and good to go. I don't really like this game from a fantasy perspective, honestly. I'll take people if they fall there, but I'm not excited to click any of these guys. Grizzlies and the Celtics, both teams on a back-to-back. Celtics are at home. They're favored by 6.5. I mean, I don't know. Does somebody sit for Memphis? Like, do we get a Cedric Coward night? The only reason I say that is because, like, I don't think anybody should be favored. Like, the Celtics should be favored by 6.5 against anybody right now. And so I don't know. I don't know what you guys think about this. I'm having a tough time with it as well. But no Q tags right now for everybody. But they also haven't. They don't need to report until later because they are on the back-to-back. Grizzlies are still without like Edie, Pippen Jr., Jerome. Brandon Clark is still set to miss like another 9 weeks, I think the report was yesterday. So he's not going to be back anytime soon. But if somebody was to miss on, if like one of the guards was to miss on Memphis, I mean, Coward's already playing like 30 minutes a game, and they seem to not have him start when Ja has missed before. I forget who they threw in the starting lineup last time, but I would be interested in Coward. I would. All right, Cavs and the Heat. So the Cavs have already ruled out everybody. The Heat are favored by 6.5. Ready? Here's who you got for the Cavs. Mobley's out. Tyson's out. Strus is out. Mitchell's out. Garland's out. Jared Allen right now is the only guy getting drafted. Lonzo Ball, most minutes he's played so far is 26 against Atlanta about a week ago or 10 days ago. Dude, does Lonzo play like this? This is too thin. It's too thin tonight. But I'm telling you, this game environment against Miami, 238.5 point total. If like Lonzo just in space running, this I like. What's the triple? Can you get a triple double on Lonzo on underdog or whatever the odds are? Hopefully it's boosted. I like this. I like the Lonzo triple double. I just think this is going to be a great environment. Craig Porter Jr., maybe we get a little bit of him. For Miami here, they're without Tyler Hero. Bam's already been ruled out. Terry Rozier's in prison. Jaime, stop waiting to draft Jaime Jaquez, okay? This is his last 3 fantasy games. Played 32 minutes against Charlotte, had 45 fantasy points. 29 minutes against the Trailblazers, 40 fantasy points. 33 minutes against Cleveland, 55 fantasy points. It's always time for Jaime. Also, Khalil Ware here has played 33 minutes in that last game, played some good basketball. If Cleveland is just kind of going with just Jared Allen, right? But maybe Larry Nance is questionable too. I don't know. It could be a big Khalil Ware night. Let me just put it on your radar. We've got Wizards and Rockets, 16.5 point spread. You know what game I'm not going to be watching? Wizards and Rockets. Now, part of that is because I got some old man hoops tonight. Koulibaly's the only guy ruled out for the Wizards. The Rockets are without Dorian and Fred. That's it. So both teams pretty healthy, neither on a back-to-back. Trailblazers and the Pellies. Trailblazers are 7.5 point favorites. Pelicans are missing. Who are they missing today? They're without DeJounte, Zion, and Poole. Trey Murphy, the only guy getting drafted. I don't know. That sucks. The Pelicans suck, man. Trailblazers here are without Blake Wesley, Scoot, Damon Thibault. Denny, dude, shut up, Denny, man. On a heater. Denny's the guy. I will draft Denny each and every slate. Now, Spurs, 4.5 point favorites against the Warriors. How do you guys think Golden State handles this? Because, like, I naturally believe. Wait, okay, they got a 431 for a double-double. Dude, let's book that. Let's book the Lonzo double-double. I don't know what else to put it with, but let's book it. All right. So for this game here, for this Warriors Spurs, if we thought Steph and Jimmy were sitting right on the back-to-back, this would be like 8.5, right? Spurs here, Wemby is going too. He's my 101 because I really do think Jokic is sitting. I'll explain later. Castle's been awesome, man. Fox looks like pretty solid. Played 30 minutes in his first game, 36 minutes in his second game. Still hasn't shown like a big ceiling, but has been pretty good. They've got everybody else besides Dylan Harper. Now, the Warriors, Q tags are coming. Steph, we already have one with the illness. Draymond got a Q tag as well. Jimmy Butler's out there. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of it. 4.5. Maybe Vegas is just like hedging a little bit where like we don't know who's going to be out. Because if they were all in, Warriors on the back-to-back on the road, if everybody's playing for Golden State, this is probably the line, right? Maybe 3.5. I don't know. Suns and Mavericks. Mavericks are favored by 1.5. Okay. I have gotten this wrong each and every time. There's no reason for Anthony Davis to play basketball. But how the hell are the Mavericks favored against anybody right now? I think Anthony Davis is going to play. So we look at the Mavericks here. Mavericks are without Kyrie and Dante Exum. Derek Lively's queued up. Anthony Davis queued up. I think AD's playing. I do, because the Suns here are without Jalen Green, and that's it. And the Suns have been playing good basketball. They've been playing good. Like Grayson Allen scores 42 points a game now. That's what happens, right? So I don't know. I think AD's playing as much as but I've gotten it wrong every time. Every time I've gotten it wrong. The Lakers, OKC's on a back-to-back. They're favored by 7.5. Lou Dort, who hasn't played in a while, is still questionable. So is Aaron Wiggins. They both missed a handful of games. SGA, I mean, like normally you're like, oh, do they sit on a back-to-back? Both of them, both SGA and Chet played less than 30 minutes. Chet played 25 minutes last night. Is just crazy. I feel like they're both going to go, and it's against the Lakers. So the Lakers here without somebody named Adu Thiero, LeBron and Gabe Vincent. Everybody else healthy, fresh. So that's fun. I'll be excited to watch that game. And then the two late games. A-Town down against the Beam on the back-to-back. Wonder how Sacramento handles this. Obviously no Trey. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who's missed the last two games, is questionable as well. Jalen Johnson returned last game. He played 34 minutes in his return. Porzingis, who missed the game, he came back, played 27 minutes. So that's fun. For the Kings, Devin Carter's got a Q tag. I don't know. I imagine we get some Q tags from everybody else too. I don't think I'm drafting any Kings. Juan Stockton says trade AD. Grayson Allen overs always kills the Mavs. All right, so do a Grayson Allen points over with the Lonzo double, and then we just print money. All right, the Nuggets here play the Clippers tonight, okay? And this is the fishiest of lines, although it has moved to 3.5 now, opened at 2.5. The Clippers have not beaten anybody in a while. They are without Kawhi Leonard. They have lost to teams like, well, let's see. Let's pull up the clips here. They've lost to teams like Atlanta without Trae Young, 2 games in a row to Phoenix, OKC. Like, I don't know, man. Miami. So anyways, they're without Kawhi and Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal's going to miss an extended amount of time, it sounds like. But Denver, shouldn't the Nuggets be favored by more than this? I don't know what to make of it. My initial take is that I think Jokic sits. He has yet to sit. I feel like it's happening. DJP, what are the odds on the Lonzo triple-double in your country? I feel like he sits. I don't know. Is AD playing tonight? That's what I was saying. That the fact that they are favored by 1.5, like why should the Mavericks be favored against anybody? I mean, I know they're at home, but Phoenix has been playing pretty good basketball. Dallas has not. They only beat teams like the Wizards and the Nets, right? Yeah, imagine, like, who would have guessed the FBI being involved all over the place is bad for business? Yeah, I kind of think, what do you guys think about this line here? Is it just that Denver's on the road and on a back-to-back that they're like, let's dock them a couple of points? But if all things were equal, and the Nuggets are playing the Clippers, fully healthy, they have Kawhi, Nuggets have everybody. This line would be Nuggets by 3.5, 4.5, right? And you take out Kawhi with a team that's shown that they can't win without him, barely could win with him. Why is this line like that? I feel like if Denver had Jokic tonight, even on a back-to-back, even on the road, it feels like it should be Denver like 7.5. I don't know. This might be a wait and see. I'm gonna do some ranks here with you guys, and then we'll wrap up. Let's do some ranks. And then if you guys have any questions about it, you can. I'd be curious, like people's takes here on this slate because I need some help. All right, let's share screen. Let's add it to stream. Oh no, hold on. Remove media. Let's do this. I think more 5.5 of everyone is in, but okay. All right. let's go over to the dog app here. We're going to build some ranks. So again, so many Q tags. It's a little bit tricky. Also, look at that balance. It's just so down, so down. I took so much money off because I don't do well with the big balance on there. I freak out. All right, let's do this. So I'm actually going to put Wemby at 1. I'm tempted to put Luka at 2 and then Jokic at 3 just because I'm really scared about this line. I'm not going to do a ton of drafting until news comes out, but this is kind of how I would do it. I think it's fine to do this, but like assuming Dort doesn't play, I'm fine with Luka at 2, but whatever. We'll do it like this. I kind of think Giannis is sitting, so I'm putting SGA 4. If you really think Giannis sits, you probably put Gooner at 5, but it feels gross. So you probably just put him there and you eat your losses. And then I would go Goon, Harden. I would go Harden, and then I'd put Cade there next. Cat on a back-to-back against Orlando. I don't know. I kind of want to do this here. We'll throw Cat next. I'm just done. Actually, we're gonna put Duren over Cat. Then we'll go Cat. We'll go Denny, Book. And then I'm going to put Jalen Johnson ahead of Giddey. I'm honestly going to put Paolo ahead of Giddey too, and then maybe Miles Bridges. And you know what? I'm thinking about it a little bit more. I think I'm going to put Miles Bridges ahead of Paolo. I just don't like playing Paolo. Sabonis didn't play that many minutes last night, and he gets a better matchup against Atlanta. That could be pretty fun. Then we got KD, Amen, JB, Austin Reeves. Again, Austin Reeves I like a lot more if Lou Dort's not going to play. I like him a lot more if Lou Dort's not going to play. But looking at this range here, I'm tempted to just click. I think Jaylen Brown could go nuclear today if he goes, and then I'm gonna put Amen over KD. I'm gonna put Sar next. Nah, actually, I'm not going to. I think I'm gonna go Reeves. We'll go Reeves, Brunson, AD, then Sar. Jared, actually, we're gonna put Allen ahead of Sar too. I mean, Jared Allen could be a lot of fun against Miami. Maybe we should have Allen ahead of AD too. And then I love Steph Castle. I'm going to always draft Steph Castle. So the thing I wanted to talk about here is Ja Morant, who I mentioned, right? Like pretty dog do. I don't think people are going to be excited about Ja Morant. Listen, I might buy in one more time on Ja. And here's why. If there was ever a team he could attack the rim against, it's this Boston team, right? Like, is he scared of Kada or Luka Garza? So I'm going to rank Ja. And it's going to feel bad, and I'm going to be mad about it later, but I'm going to do it. I do kind of like Trey Murphy tonight just because of how fast that game will be with Portland as long as they can keep it close. Jaime Jaquez, come on down. And then I think we'll put Steph there because if you can get Steph like for an easy swap at the end, that's fine. A couple other names that I really like down here. We got to start buying the Knipple hype. Knipple's been awesome. This is like 41, 35, 48, 44. Again, Charlotte just kind of plays like a fun basketball against Milwaukee, especially if there's no Giannis. So I'm happy throwing Knipple in there. Zubac is fun. Jamal is fun. If we want to find some scrolls here, Derek White, yeah, sure. You want to go back there. Drew Holiday, you can get there. You can talk yourself into some of the Cleveland guys. I mean, Dyson Daniels is barely going to get drafted tonight. I think Dyson Daniels in a great spot. We mentioned Khalil Ware. Ryan Rollins I talked about, but it's probably a little too thin. This is the other guy I'm going to go ahead and tell you to put in your ranks. If you believe in the Jokic sit, one more, sorry, not enough letters. Valanciunas. My name is Jonas. Jonas should cook, right? Maybe the slate's too deep, but I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't have any too many great takes this morning just because it's just there's too much. There's too much going on. There's too much messiness, too much Q tags, all the stuff. All right, we're going to call it there. Today. Depending on the news we get, I might do like a little members only stream while I'm drafting this afternoon. I'm not sure. If I don't do it today, I'll definitely do it tomorrow. I'm not sure yet, but otherwise we'll be back here tomorrow for the NBA bit. One announcement though, for Friday, no NBA bit on Friday. There's no NBA bit on Friday. Live before lock will still happen. I'm shooting a thing for a friend of mine on Friday, so I can't do it as my dog's stretching over there. What's going on, bro? He needs to get a haircut. Hair in his mouth. But yeah, I'm shooting a thing for my buddy Josh. Actually, the dude who came on the opening day show and played that ref. What is that dog doing? You all right, bro? You showing off now? You know you're on camera? Oh, and then he burped. Hell yeah. All right. What a good dude. All right. Let's call it there. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow. This guy's cracking me up. You missed the short clips one? I know. They're bad for the algo, though. Maybe we'll create like a separate short one. But all right, we're going to wrap it. Have a good day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.